Today I want to show you how you can build a chatbot that is on your website and collects all of the leads that are coming in. So whenever a user has a question, it can go with that question or that problem to the chatbot, ask the question or tell them about this problem. The chatbot will analyze the problem, analyze the user, ask for an email address so that you can help him better. And once this email address or a phone number is provided, all of this data will be saved in a Google Doc or in a Google Sheet like this, where we have the timestamp when the conversation happened, the platform it happened on, the user ID, so the phone number or the email of that user, then the question the user asked or the problem that it has, the response the chatbot has given, whether the query was answered, and a transcript of the whole conversation. You can't see it, now you can, so that we can see which leads are coming in. We have the data to contact them and we know what their problems and pain points are. All right, let's go. All we need is Voiceflow, we need N8N, and we need a Google Doc. That is literally all we have to do. So first off, let's go to Voiceflow. If you don't know how to create a Voiceflow account, it's really simple. There should be a link in the video description as well. You basically just go to voiceflow.com, hit enter, and then you hit sign up here for free. And you basically just create an account. You can do this by signing up with Google or using an email address and a password, and then you're in. And when you're in, you will see a screen like this. And what we want to do is go to projects and then hit new project here. So don't wonder, I have a lot of problems here because these are all of the projects that I currently have for my clients. So you put in a name here, you call this, I don't know, whatever your business is called. For me, that's Twy. And then the prompt you basically do, you can just use this customer service support. Should be enough for now. We will now wait for the chatbot to load up. In the meantime, we can go to our N8N. We should have an account, and you basically go on this little plus icon to create a new workflow. Inside of this workflow, we need only these 3 steps. We could even live with just the webhook and just the Google Sheets, but I want to be notified whenever a new lead comes in. So I have this email step in here, so that whenever a new lead comes in, I get an email of the summarization. Okay, so first we need to do a webhook. We basically create a new workflow, add first step, and we say webhook. Nice. We want to set this to the message, so should be post, should be the method. Just to go to the name, authentication, none, and respond immediately. That's all we have to do here. And then we need the next step, which is an email step. You can either do email or Gmail. I'm going to choose Gmail, and we look for message. We want to send a message right here. We do a Gmail account, so we connect our Gmail account. So we do this by create credential, and then you go to connections and you sign in with Google here. So then you have your Gmail account. You put operation to send. This is correct. The 2 should be your email. So this is just this random email I've set up like 7 years ago or something. This is not my professional email, but we'll do the trick. The subject is just new lead from chatbot. Email type is text, and message we will leave out for now. We will get this from the webhook in a moment. Then sheets. We need Google Sheets. We want to append. We want to append row in sheet. Again, we just connect our Google account. The resource is sheet with a document, and we have append row. Just do from list here and choose the right document. So that's customer support data. The sheet is the only one we have here. Oh, by the way, I've probably forgot to mention before you do the step, you should go into your Google Sheet account and then create a new blank spreadsheet and give this a name. Call it customer support data or anything. So that this will be shown up here, and then as well you should write in the first row all of these different things you want to have. So the timestamp, platform, user ID, questions, about response, answered, and transcript. You just write this into A1, B1, so this in this top row, and then you can basically just fill this in here. As well, we will not do this. We will do this in a moment when we have the data from our webhook. Go back to Voiceflow. The agent should be set up now. Very good. Okay, it has pre-done this for us. This is what Voiceflow does apparently right now. They just create agents for you. I'm not a fan of this really. So what I like to do is I'd like to do it within one node, just within one agent. It's way faster, way easier, and I find the quality to be better as well. It looks cooler like this with all of these different cards, but I just find it way easier and way better if we just delete all of these up and then go in here we can put this to GPT-5, the latest one, and then basically just put the instructions in here that we have. I will be copying the prompt for the initial agent from from my original chatbot I have here. If you don't want to prompt this yourself, and you basically just want to have this whole setup without needing to do all the clicks and stuff, basically, then the first link in the video description is to my School community. It's totally free, and you can get a free chatbot in there as well. You just have to download it, upload it into Voiceflow. How you do this is explained in the School group as well, and then you just have the chatbot, and you don't have to do this prompting stuff that I'm doing right now. Okay, so we do it like this. We put this in here. The model is this one. By the way, as well, in the community, I have a affiliate link to Voiceflow because I'm a certified expert here, and so you can get a month free off of the pro plan with that if you want to. Delete all of these exit conditions, and then do exit condition email provided. Exit when the user has provided a valid email address. Wonderful. Okay, we exit here. We do this, and we want to actions, go to intent, which we will set up right now. We have to do a new intent, and we do this by going over here to this little content icon, go to intents, and create a new intent. And this is email provided. Trigger this when the user has provided an email. And then you can just put examples in here like tim@gmail.com, mark.schmidt@gmx.de, lisa_mayer@protonmail.de, and then we can, once we have put in a few ourselves, we can just hit generate and say generate 20 examples, and then it will just generate us some email addresses, so it learns here. If we want to do this even better, you can just create some more examples. All right, say create intent. Wonderful, it knows how to do this now. We go back to workflows, we create a new workflow. We name this workflow as well, email provided. I don't think we need some prompt for this. We will change this up anyway, so just click some prompt and wait as well. Wait again for it to load up. And none of this is really needed as well. Boop, and zack. Boop. Add trigger when actions. Go to intent. Trigger intent email provided. Wonderful. Okay, the intent is selected. Now we just pull this and say talk step, and we now like pretend that someone has provided an email. So wonderful. I will tell Tim, because that's my name, about the following. He will message you shortly. And then we need an agent step in here, and we create an agent. Quickly summarize the recent conversation and the user's email and biggest problems. Current situation. Very cool. The model as well, GPT-5. The tokens don't have to be so many. We just want a very quick summarization. Oh yeah, by the way, knowledge base, enable to knowledge base. And then if you want to upload a knowledge base, you just go to knowledge base, and in here you upload like your website or something to create or to train the chatbot on your website. Okay, go back to this email provided, agent, exit condition, summary written, exit when the agent has written the summary of the conversation so far. Very cool. Summary written, and now we need our beloved API step. Say post, and we now get the URL that is within our webhook here. Double click, copy, go back, post, and put this in here. You know what? Actually, let's delete this agent. Let's not do this with an agent. Let's say talk and then prompt, and let's just create a prompt, and let's prompt this agent here. Okay, we now told him basically the same thing. We change the model again, and we add the history of the conversation for context. Very cool. We connect this to this. And now we need to create a variable. We go to this context thing here again, variables. We create a new variable, and we say this to user _context, and this is the info to a user. Create the intent, or create the variable, sorry. Nice, and go back to workflows and our email workflow. And then we need a set step, so we go logic and say set, and then we need a variable to set, and the variable to set is user context. We can just search for this as well, user context. So we put, and now we need a set step. So we go to logic, set, and pull this in. Hit the little plus icon and say prompt. And the prompt is the untitled prompt. And we can title this as well. Edit prompt, untitled prompt, summary. Okay. So we can set this to summary, and the set variable we need is user context. So now we have this variable we will save the summary that we just have from the conversation into user context. We connect this, and now we can say in the body from data, enter key, and this key is text, and the value is user context. For that we have to put this little, like when you press Alt and 7, which then comes up, and then you put this little like with the swoosh, the one you can't draw on paper, that is the one, the icon we want. So put that here, and now we basically have done everything we need, and we can just say talk and say, can I help you with something else? Question mark, and connect this to actions, go to block, and we want to go to the start block in the start workflow. Nice. So now it will be sent, the user will be sent to the beginning of the start block. Okay, now we would have a summary of the whole conversation. We could live with that. If we want to have the email for its own, then we need to create a new variable. So go to this little block here again, variables, new variable, email, the email of a user, create variable. Nice. Workflows, start workflow. Oh, by the way, we have to select here an intent, and this intent is email provided. Then edit workflow and tell them on the email provided exit required variables is email, LM description, put in the email the user provided here. And if we want to be really sure that he gets it, we can tell him in the prompt as well, once the user has provided an email, fill it into the email variable and exit to the email provided exit. Okay, let's troubleshoot. Let's see if the workflow is even working, and if it gets the intent. So let's talk to our agent. Very cool. The agent greets us. We say, I have a problem with customer support in my software company. Obviously, I'm spoon feeding him here. In real life, the conversation would look a little bit different, but I want to show you how this can look like and go through it really quickly to troubleshoot. Okay, he's asking us back a question, and then he's asking me back a few questions, which works really well, so we can continue the conversation for a little bit. Let's say the repetitive tickets are killing me. I have a spelling mistake in here, but who cares? Now he's giving us a few quick tips and telling me how I could help with this problem, potentially. And he's asking us for our best email. So let's provide this email. I'm giving him my professional email. Hit enter, and let's see if he gets the intent. He did get the intent, and he's telling me, wonderful, I will tell him about the following. He will message you shortly. The user wants a software company that's overran by repetitive ticket support, and so on. Very cool. Nice. Okay, what we see now, I said we've written this, and now he immediately jumped back into the workflow, and so he has basically written this twice, which we don't want. So let's go back to our other workflow, contents, workflow, and this is because we didn't put anything in here. So we have to put a listen step, capture entire user response, and then from here we want to go to actions, go to block, and go to start block. So now the user has to write something again first, ask a question or something, so that, and only then we go to the start block again and not immediately jump into the start block. Okay, so it gets all of this perfect. Now we have to adjust this and make sure it actually gets saved within here, because right now it didn't. So go back here, add body, and the body is email, and now we do our little variable icon here again and write email. Nice. Now we have everything we need here, and we go back to our Voiceflow thing, and now we can test if this works as well. So this will be triggered whenever someone writes an email, right? Because when we interact with the chatbot and we write an email, then this flow gets triggered, and this flow calls the API to save this, right? So let's run the agent. And to give him a little context, we say, I have problems with repetitive tickets. So he knows what we do or what our problem is, so he can identify something here. And then without further ado, we just give him the email. Oh, by the way, we have to hit execute workflow here. We have to execute this workflow first. So in order to do that, we need to put in a text here. Let's, for now, let's just put one text in here so it actually can do something. Now let's execute the workflow. It is now waiting for a trigger. We have to start the chat over again. And we will, just to see if it works, just write the email immediately. It now will find the workflow correctly. Awesome. It has the summary, it calls the API, and it goes back. And in here, wonderful, wonderful, it has found the email. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have the body. We have the summarization. This is the text. Obviously, nothing much happened here, right? We haven't written any real problems we have, but you can see that this text we have here is exactly what he said here in the conversation summary, right? Very cool. So we have that. Awesome. Now the message, we can delete our 1, 2, 3 here and choose text. And if you want to really be sure that he gets everything, we will put in the email as well. So now we might get a text that has the email twice because I told him to get the email once in the summary and then one time again in the email for itself. But better tries than not at all. So we put in it both times. Nice. Now add row and sheet. Timestamp is, let's put this all out. Timestamp is now. Pull this from down here. Platform, obviously we only have one, so we call this web. The user ID is the email we just saved. The questions he asked. Okay, we haven't saved the variable for the question that the user asked. We could do this as well if we would go in here and we say body and we say questions, and then we could just, for example, put in variable and then vf underscore memory. Then it would just pull all of the conversation we had into this variable, and it would show up this variable in here as well. So we could just pull this over from our webhook in here, and then it would save that as well. But for now, we only need, or we can basically do the summary into the question. So text, question, pub. Okay, very cool. Now we can save this, and I cannot activate this right now because I have this automation already, and we cannot have an automation twice in here, so I can't activate this. But if you do this, you should be able to click up here and then to activate it. And I want to show you how this works. So we have this here, right? You see this. The last is okay. I won't show you this or more information about it. This is because this is actually information about my client. But you can see row 21 is empty currently. So now go back and say execute workflow. You would just put this webhook trigger as we put this webhook trigger to as a webhook trigger. This means that if you have activated this workflow, whenever someone writes an email address into your chatbot, this email address will then be saved and sent into here. I will now have to press execute workflow because, as I said, I already have this automation. So let's hit execute workflow and let's go back here and let's hit run and let's say I have issues with my tickets. Users ask the same questions all the time. And then we just go right ahead with the email address. Let's wait for him to write everything out. Very cool. And we put the email address, is writing out the text, and it is sending this over here. This run has executed successfully. And in row 21 is now our email address and this message with the email address from the user. Now let's see if we've actually gotten an email with the information about the user. Let's go into Gmail. And actually from we've gotten new leads. Let's see the email. The user is dealing with repetitive ticket problems, blah, 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 and this is the email. By the way, I'm seeing we put this directly behind each other. So if we go into the email step and we just go in between and we just put a space, then this shouldn't happen anymore. Wonderful. This is all. Now, whenever a lead is on your website and is interacting with the chatbot will ask the lead to provide an email address so that you can help him out better, and then will save the information of the lead into your Google Sheet and send you an email so you know all of the leads that you collect. And that way, no more lead will hop off your shovel. You will lose no more leads because everyone who's actually interested in your product and on your website will ask the chatbot, will provide their email, and you can just collect leads like automatically. As long as you have traffic on your website, you will be collecting leads with this. If you want to know how to put this onto your website, you just go back to Voiceflow. We have to close this and publish. So we just hit publish, and then it will be accessible to the public. So whenever you put this link, other people will be capable of interacting with this. And then you go to this little puzzle icon, you go to widget, and you just copy this and post it into the HTML code of your website. You can do modality and interface and appearance and style and change the color of this. So for example, the color of my business is 00BFFF, and it will just adjust the color accordingly. You can upload images and stuff, but this is no topic for this video. So if you want to implement this, just copy this and put it into the HTML code of your website. Okay, so this is it for this video. As I said, you will now collect an endless number of leads from whoever is on your website. If you want to know how to build an AI phone agent that answers all of the questions via phone and collects leads via phone, then you can go ahead and watch this video right now. Other people liked it a lot, so I'm confident you will as well. I will see you over there, and goodbye.